Hey everybody, Tony Lee Glenn here, and I'm here to speak a word of defense today on behalf of the GoPro Hero 3, which is getting some kind of bad press. And I've got 3 of my GoPro Hero 3s here. Yes, I own 3, and what I'm going to talk about today, of course, is the freezing issue that you hear so much about. So I've got 3, 2, and 1 here. And these guys, I've had, I think, 2 of them have the freezing issue, 1 and 3, but I don't think I've ever had number 2 give me the problem. And what happens, I'll see if it can happen here right quick. Sometimes what will happen is when you power up, it will freeze. And there's a little battery pack cover here on the back of this. If you pull your finger on this, it kind of unlocks and the little back thing comes off of it. And there it is, of course. And you've got the battery here in the back. Now, what I do, the way to alleviate the freeze problem is just to pull this thing out and then put it back in. And listen, these things do not fall out. They're in there pretty stoutly, so you have to actually pull them out with this little tab that's on the back. So, since this does happen occasionally, I'd say it happens about 1 in 5 times. Yes, that's something that GoPro should fix. Is it something you should be afraid of with this camera? No. So let's test this one and see if it freezes up. This is my number 2 one. Okay, if you see the 0 zeros there at the top, it means that it did start. So no freeze on this one. I'm going to turn this one off again. You just hold that down. It beeps 7 times. It's off. Let's try my number 1. This one I have had trouble with the freezing, so I'm going to go ahead and push the mode down, and it should beep and start. Looks like we're rolling again with this one, so no freeze on this one. Let's turn it off. Let's try the number 3. This number 3 and number 1 have frozen on me in the past. Let's try this one. Okay, this one says it has no SD card in it, so I left my SD card out. And that's true, it's empty. So, but once again, no freeze. But the reason I'm saying this is they do freeze. I'm really going to try it again and see if it'll happen. It would be cool if it did. Well, what will happen is instead of the zeros there, it'll just be a little camera and it'll look like it's frozen up and you can't do any video with it. But all you have to do to fix it, if that occurs, I'm going to turn this one off this time, is again, just pull the battery out, put it back in. It's a slight inconvenience, yes, but you know, for the amount of awesome video, the video awesomeness you get for this, that's just not much of a problem at all. It is basically the only problem I've had. Now, I'll tell you what I've done. Here's a design thing I wish GoPro had done, fixed. If you buy the naked little thing that goes around it, it's called the naked mount. And the reason I've got this is so I don't have to shoot through pieces of plastic and go through popping them out of the case that they come with. If you buy this little thing, which is kind of expensive, it doesn't allow you to be able to get in here where the card is to get it out. You have to take this thing out of this case every time to get your card out. So what I did, I took a little knife, an X-Acto knife, and I actually whittled this thing out here. I scraped it out so that I can take my pinky fingernail there and press down in there, and I can pull that little card out. So there's the SD. You'll find that you're going to have trouble if you get these naked. That's kind of a bad design. They should make that slot so you don't have to customize it yourself to make that work. But so I've got it now where I can stick it in, get it in and out. You know, the one thing I'm going to say is, also in defense of the GoPro Hero 3, you're not going to get the kind of video you get from this camera with any and every camcorder. No, it does not zoom, but you shoot so many different frame rates, and I have this on here because I have like 3 mounts on the top of my car, actually on my windshield, and I'll put one in the middle on a flat mount and have it shooting straight forward. I'll have one on one of these. I actually have these mounts, the little mount plastic pieces on my windshield, and I'm here to tell you, you're not going to get them off with a crowbar. They stick so good. If I ever have to take them off, you can shoot them with a heat gun, heat them up, and they will pull off. The glue will release. But I'm here to tell you, I've driven 70 miles an hour down the interstate with 3 of these things mounted to my windshield, and they have not budged. But so what I'll do, I'll put one in the front, going straight like that. I'll put one faced, I don't know, 60, 70 degrees to the left, and one face to the right. And then I have all these little various mount things that come with the GoPro, or you can get the grab bag of mounts and various other things, little packages they have that will allow you to change the angle of these things and whether they lean one way or the other. So sort of a pitch and yaw kind of setup is what I have here. And I'll just mount this thing to my windshield, and if you go to my YouTube channel, you can see some of my little cruising videos that I've done, like in Asheville, North Carolina. I think I've got one called This is Asheville. I actually got a series of them. Chapel Hill, North Carolina. The town where I live or close to, Morganton, North Carolina is in there. Go check some of those out. What I'm able to do with the GoPro Hero 3 is essentially turn my car into a big rolling dolly. And it's awesome just to ride around and experience the places you've been. And you know, if you have problems, if you have this continual terrible problems with the freeze up issue, maybe you got a faulty or a bad one, but I've got 3 of them. Like I say, 1 I don't have the issue at all. 2 of them I do have the issue, but it's such an easy thing to fix. And you know what, these things stay in there so much, I don't even most of the time keep that little back thing on here. I mean, these things are cool, I guess, to be absolutely safe. But I'm telling you, unless you're doing some absolutely brutal extreme sport things, I can not see the way that battery's going to ever fall out. I mean, I can pull it out, I can yank it out, but they stay seated pretty well in there. It's not going to fall out. And so, you know, to make it convenient, if you end up having a lot of issues with the freeze up thing, just pull it out, put it back in. Just don't put the back on it. Now, if you're inside the plastic case, that's an issue. That's another reason why I got the little naked thing, because I didn't have to have the plastic case on it. Now, if you're underwater, another deal. You know, you're gonna have to, and you have the freezing issue, you're gonna have to pop open the plastic, then pull the battery out, put it back in. I can see people getting very frustrated doing that. This works great for me. And I know of no other camera that you can take and shoot 4K video with, 2.7K video, 720p, 1080p, 1440p, and you can take this thing. It's so light. I use a big golf stick, like what you use to retrieve golf balls, that has the circle on it, and I put a piece of like noodle foam rubber in it and put these things on a little microphone holder, and I can take this thing and swing it, you know, 15, 18 feet out over cliffs and things. I'm going to go shoot some video soon, and you know, in some places that human beings have never seen the angles of waterfalls. I'm getting ready to go shoot here soon. And so, you know, as lightweight as it is, as versatile as it is, the field of view that you're able to get, the wide field of view, medium and narrow, the fact you can shoot in Pro Tune mode, which means you'll have a lot of color possibilities there and color grading possibilities. I don't see why it's worth all the bitching over just the fact that you're having that problem with the freezing. Now, one last thing I will bring up is I've noticed with my recent upgrade of CS6 Adobe Premiere, for some reason CS6 Adobe Premiere is not seeing my 4K video. It thinks that it's an audio stream, even though when I try to, without processing it, upload it to YouTube, YouTube sees the 4K video, renders it out just fine. So the MPEG-4s, for some reason, it's an Adobe issue, not a GoPro issue. Those of you who do use Adobe Premiere Pro, you may be finding that you're having some problems seeing your 4K video. So I'm going to try to kind of go through Adobe's customer support and tell them that they're having an issue, something to do with the latest upgrade. And of course, as I'm doing this, it's it's the first day of May 2013. So listen, do not fear the freezing issue. If you want to shoot awesome video in ways that, you probably never do with a conventional camcorder or DSLR, this is the way to go. They're not that expensive, $400 for the black edition. You know, there's so many options, so many things you can shoot. I'm getting an awesome video with it. Don't fear it, get it.